What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. On today's episode we're going to be focusing on the FD RX-7. Now the FD is a Bridgeport, as you guys know, so it's fast, it's aggressive, it has a crazy idle. All of those things make it super fun to drive and turns a lot of heads and all of that. But one of the things that has been catching up to me and been a pain point is the lack of power steering. And to be completely honest, I did remove the OEM system a while back to free up some space in the engine bay and make spark plug changing super easy, and of course it has done that. But now parking lots and low speed turns and all that has been just a huge headache. So today we're going to be installing the super popular Toyota MRS electric hydro steering pump. Super easy to install, also keep our space savings in the engine bay. With that out of the way, let's get started.
We'll get started by mounting the pump. I'm mounting it away from everything to the left of my V-mount setup. Next, we'll install our adapter fitting. This is going to be a male metric adapter that goes from 16 by 1.5 millimeter to -6 AN. You'll want to make sure that your adapter fitting comes with a crust washer for sealing purposes. And after that, we'll install our high pressure -6 AN hose to the inlet of our steering rack. I bought this hose pre-made. I'll link it in the description. You'll need two more fittings for the steering rack. For the inlet, you'll need a 12 by 1.5 millimeter to -6 AN fitting. This should also come with an O-ring for sealing. The outlet fitting, which is the right port, is 16 by 1.5 millimeter to -6 AN. This should also come with an O-ring. Converted this to hose bar. For the return, I'm just using plain low pressure hose that's rated for power steering fluid. Now for the fun part. We can start building out the electrical components that we need to support this new pump. This pump draws a lot of juice, so most importantly you'll need a 50 amp relay as well as a circuit breaker. You'll also need some connectors and wire. Power to the pump will be provided by the relay, which comes from the circuit breaker, which is connected directly to the feed from the battery. You could use a bunch of things to trigger the relay. I'm using the ignition switch. I also have an inline switch to disable the pump whenever I need to. It's important to note that the relay's ground actually comes from the pump itself. The pump has a controller built in that can sense issues like overheating and such, and it'll float that ground, thereby disabling the power input to the pump's motor. At this point, I'm building out the wiring for each connector on the pump. Pin 1 on the 4-pin connector will get your 12-volt trigger signal. Pin 5 on the middle connector will provide the ground to the relay. On the 2-pin connector, pin 1 will be connected to the output of the relay, and pin 2 will be connected to clean ground. Alright, it's time to try this thing out. I just tucked away some of the wires temporarily. I'm going to flip the switch and see if this pump engages. Yep, it's working. This thing is loud as crap. It's pretty crazy how well this little pump works. Right now I'm turning the wheels without much effort at all. Now would also be a good time to top up on some fresh fluid as well as bleed the system. I'm using CHF 11 because it's highly recommended and I have a bunch of it from my German cars. Alright, at this point I'm super excited to go try this out on the road. I'm going to clean everything up and then we'll go take this thing out for a spin.